We cannot understand everything within this world because we cannot understand ourselves completely. We cannot understand ourselves. We just can't understand everything because it is not possible to understand everything. See, when we are connected with ourselves, we understand ourselves in ways that no one can ever understand. Our physiology, our emotions, our psychological mind, our mental status. We can understand all of it that none can ever understand. That's what makes us who we are and what we can be. We can be much more than what we want. It just depends on what we choose it to be. We can choose to be much more than what we are. That is the absolute truth. The absolute truth is being we can't fully comprehend it, but we can understand it. We can understand ourselves. It's just a matter of what, when, and where, and much more to that. But we cannot understand what we truly are if we ourselves can't even understand what there is or what there can be. One cannot understand themselves and call it life if they're not willing to live it, let alone understand themselves. You cannot call it understanding, but mere ignorance and illusions of grandeur, of thinking that you are something when you are not, when you can't even understand yourselves. You cannot call it understanding. Why? Because that's not the way. The way is to understand yourself before you understand others. And first you have to understand what you are, who you are. You see anyone doing that? Because very few people will ever understand or get a grasp of what they are, or especially who they are. They will not understand because they choose not to, because they choose to remain ignorant. Because the moment they become interconnected with themselves, it's the moment they are able to grasp what there really is within themselves. They're able to understand themselves above all else. You can't simply understand yourselves and call it understanding. You have to understand what you are, who you are, and where you might end. The beginning to the end. But you have to understand what the ending may be. Because it is an end of your own choosing. One cannot live and call it life if they can't even grasp the mere thought of who they are. If they be good or for ill intention, it does not matter. The only thing that matters is that how they understand who and what they are. And if they can't understand that, then why do they even call it understanding? You can't simply understand a thing. You can understand a mere object, down to the micro subatomic based level, to the atoms that otherwise structure it to a limited point. Very limited. You can only understand a fraction of it, as you may understand everything else. But you cannot understand a mere fraction of yourself. You can understand yourself as a whole the moment you interconnect with yourself. And the moment you do that is the moment you can see past all this illusion. Illusions are nothing more than mere thoughts brought on by ignorance. Ignorance that was otherwise created to otherwise live within illusion, within that paradigm of an illusion, calling it reality. But you cannot call it reality if it is an illusion, because reality, by all means, is a myth. Reality can be of one's choosing. Of course, that is what there is. That is to say, reality is nothing more than myth. One's reality is only what they choose it. But you cannot call it reality if it is not reality, but if it is an illusion. Because illusions are only brought on by the ignorant and the arrogant who would otherwise walk it the rest of their natural lifespan and never know it. That's what you would call illusion. Illusion is of the mind. Not being able to see past those illusions is what makes one ignorant. Am I not wrong? You cannot call it life, let alone understanding, because there's none to gain. If there is nothing there,